Many Square Project Part 2. Project development process. Number 20 right here. Says, using the constructors in CV Square Spiral as a model, add two constructors to CV Checkerboard. One should have an int parameter and set the field n to that value. The other constructor should have no parameters and pass a default value of 8 to the constructor with one parameter. So the point of this step is, remember, we wanted to we want our program to be able to accept values for n, k, and q, where n is the number of squares on a side. So we're setting up that piece by making n a parameter to one of the constructors here. And then what do they mean by using the constructors in CV Square Spiral as a model? Well, what we're talking about there is, remember, we have here's CV Square Spiral with no parameters, and here's CV Square Spiral with one parameter, and then we kind of passed along and along here, right? But we ended up with doing a check to see if the value is okay, and then assigning our field to that value that's passed in. So we're going to do something similar in CV Checkerboard. So let's do, actually, I think the way to do this is going to be also with, it's either in source or refactoring, where you insert code constructor. Okay, so there should be something like this in Eclipse too. If you can't find it, give me a holler and I'll help you look for it. But anyway, the fields that we want, we want one that has no parameters and one that has n as a parameter. Let's do n first, and then we'll add the. So let's generate that guy, and right here let's generate the. And we'll want to put a check in here to make sure that the value of n is okay, but let's just do this one too. Insert code constructor with no parameters. Let's do that one. Okay, and we'll use the same idea that we did in Square Spiral, where we did the this to call the parameter, or to call the constructor that needs a float. We did that. So we're going to have to, we want to call the constructor that takes an int, the n, so let's say this, and we want the default value to be 8. So I'll stick an 8 in there. And now let's put in some, well, actually, let's put in some comments. Let's see. We can kind of copy the comments from here too, maybe. So I'll say copy, and just paste it right there. Paste. Okay, initialize a newly created, copy, paste, CV Checkerboard with 8 squares on a side. How about that? And for this one, it's going to, let's see, copy and paste. Initialize newly created checkerboard with n squares on a side. How about that? And we need to stick in our, oh, it's going to tell us we need a parameter, right? Missing param tag, so let's add that. Okay, so param n is number of squares on a side. Okay, and let's stick in also a, I think we did, yeah, illegal argument exception. We want something like this. We want it if n is less than 0, right? You know that's no good. And you might, again, you might decide, you know, you want to have an upper limit on this too. That would be cool. And then paste this. Okay, so then we want this to be checking n, right? And illegal number of squares on a side. That's what I meant. Squares on a side, and it's going to be whatever was put in for n. So if n is less or equal to 0, that's not a valid number of sides, and we'll throw up that exception. I don't do that. I think we need also like this thing here, throws, edit, copy, edit, paste, throws illegal argument exception if n is less or equal to 0, right? Okay. You'll see some weird markup sometimes, in like this ampersand LE semicolon. That's HTML. It's just to make it, when you created Java docs for this file, for this class, it just makes the code look nice. So let's see, was that it? So that was it, right? This was to create the two constructors. Alright. So let's make sure that compiles. Yeah. And just for kicks, let's try sticking in a different number here. If we made this 4. It didn't look like 4 to me. Let's see, 1, 5, yoink. Oh, because we didn't we didn't replace the 8s with n's, did we? Let's see, is that part of this step, or is that the next step? Modify. Oh no, that's going to be the next step. So in the next step, we will take care of making sure that we're actually using the value n. So I'll put this back to 8 for now, and then in the next step we'll make our final changes and make sure we can play around with this bit.